So the venue was opened with a partial donation from an old boy who had spent 2 years at the school and found that the skills that he learnt in public speaking allowed him to become a very, very successful businessman. The school will prop up things and help support the arts when we wouldn't be able to get the productions in. And of course, associated with the school, we have touring presenters either for teacher PD or for parent information sessions.
We're a touring theatre company. We partner with independent arts companies, theatre companies from all around Australia and tour their work to all around Australia.
Critical Stages build relationships with audiences before the show, during the show and after the show.
You know, I think we're particularly interested in works that tell a strong, engaging story, that have a unique angle and a unique story that people might want to share and listen to.
My show's called The Orchid and the Crow. It's a show, the way we describe it is it's a comedy about an atheist that survives cancer by finding God in Lance Armstrong.
Coming in for our venue, at least being a school and not having a full theatre department of technicians to help out, the more accepting they are of that, the easier it is for them to work with. And the challenge, of course, is as well as being a teacher in an academic environment, having the time to connect with different community groups and get bums on seats.
I think the most important thing that we need is time, being able to have the time to talk to the local venues who quite often are by themselves there or with very limited resources. A lot of the city-based venues they have more resources than a lot of the regional-based venues. So providing enough time for them to start the conversations.
Trust and mutual respect and collaboration. It's listening to the presenters that we're working with about what their needs are and what their audiences and their communities' needs are. I feel like that's the area that I like to focus on in terms of making that relationship work best.
Audience development isn't just about the communities, audience engagement I should say, isn't just about the communities that we go to. It's also about how the artists can contribute to those communities as well.
The more we can do to help venues understand our shows and what kinds of people would like to see the shows and how things have worked, the better we're all going to be for it.
Some of the times when it's worked brilliantly is when we've had an artist in a town a couple of days beforehand and they're in there and they're at the local bakery and they're at the pub talking about the show and building interest directly from the artist to the community beforehand about the show.
For instance, tonight in Armidale we've got a Q&A and they've got some men's health groups to be part of that Q&A and they've done a little bit of that kind of stuff.
One of my favourite experiences was in Temora and it was a small town hall theatre which was a cinema. It was packed. The artists had a little chat beforehand about who they were and why they were coming. There was a long interval where there was a soiree and that had been organised to build that kind of event thing and everyone got to talk in interval about how the show was going, including with the actors. And it felt a very engaged night and a positive night, and there was a kind of an event experience around it.
It's been great to have somebody who is working really hard alongside us to promote a show, to problem solve, to make contact. And again, our venue in particular, where my job is 3/4 being a school teacher and looking after an academic department, not having the time to do that and having other supporters there is really, really important.